Hey guys, it's me Danny, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to meditate. So this is a really important basic spiritual tool that's like a great foundation for really anything else. And it's one of those things that's like surprisingly simple and then incredibly difficult at the same time. And so I guess we'll just jump right into it. So there are 3 different parts to meditation. The first is posture. The second is your senses, and the third part is your mind. So the first part, your posture, you can sit really anywhere. You don't have to necessarily have like a meditation set up on the cushions to meditate. You can meditate in a chair or on a couch. So if you're on a couch or a chair, just sit towards the edge, and that will help you to stay kind of lifted and alert, as opposed to sort of like slumping. It's hard to stay alert if you're slouching. So we're sitting kind of at the edge of our seat. If you're seated on the floor on a cushion, it's important to have your knees below your hips. So when your knees are below your hips, that helps your hip flexors relax, and it takes some of the strain off of your back as well. So that's a first thing to do if you are sitting on the ground. Even on this couch, my knees are a little bit above my hips, which isn't ideal. So if I wanted to, I could kind of put another pillow underneath. So we are, if you're on the floor, you're seated with your legs crossed. If you're on a chair, your feet are firmly planted on the ground. That helps you to stay grounded. And there's this sense of uprightedness. So we're sitting upright and in a dignified way. And we're really taking advantage of our body's natural sort of desire to be upright. And we know that when we stand upright, we actually feel more aware and more confident as well. So we're really tapping into that. You can kind of check in with your shoulders and make sure they're not too scrunched. Just let them drop by your sides. And then if you just bend at the elbows and let your hands fall on your lap, that's usually the best place to put them. And in the Buddhist practice that I study, there's this concept of a strong back and a soft front. So we're kind of sitting upright, and then the front side is soft. And you can imagine this sort of string and a hook almost just kind of lifting up the spine. And there's this natural kind of inclination for your chin to tuck just slightly when we're sitting upright like this, and that just helps your neck to relax. And there's an optional instruction to place the tip of your tongue right behind the top row of teeth where they meet the roof of your mouth. And that's an extra point of focus for your meditation, and it also can help your jaw to relax. So that's the posture piece. And now for your senses. So all of our senses are open. We're not really diving into them, but we're not pushing them away. So you might kind of check in with your feeling perception of the space you're in. Maybe the room feels cool or warm. Maybe you feel a little sweaty. So you can kind of be aware of that. And our sense of hearing is also open. We're not blocking out the sound. But we're not diving into it. And our eyes are also open. So the instruction is to place your eyes on the ground anywhere from 3 to 6 feet in front of you, whatever feels natural. It's a slightly downward gaze. And this is really tricky because we're used to really trying to pull information in through our eyes, and in this practice we are just letting the light come in. We're not trying to see, we're just letting the light come in. And sometimes it's helpful if you wear glasses to take off your glasses so your eyes can go out of focus a little bit. Or if you don't wear glasses, you can just let your eyes slightly go out of focus, if that's helpful to you. And then the last part is your mind. So we have the posture and we have our senses. The mind is the third piece. So one definition of the word meditation is to become familiar with. And in that context, we're becoming familiar with things all the time. We're just usually becoming familiar with the concept of being really frustrated at somebody, or being really frustrated with traffic, or being really stressed out that we have to get something done. Or we're meditating on the kitty. And so in this practice, we're being intentional about what we're meditating upon. And in this particular practice, the object of our meditation is the feeling of the body breathing. So take a moment to just check in with your breath. And notice where your breath is in your body. And so that's your touch point. And I don't know if you can hear the kitty rolling around, but it's such a great metaphor for the distraction of the mind. So our mind is just doing things, and the kitty is just playing. Like, that's what a kitty does. And our mind thinks, and it creates stories. That's just what it does. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. So in this particular practice, we're just becoming familiar with the way that our mind is, not necessarily trying to change it. So we just kind of watch it. And if we get caught up in something we notice, then we come back to the feeling of the body breathing. So we're just always returning to that. Okay, so in review, we're sitting upright, feeling our dignity. Our senses are open. Our senses are open. And our mind is placed on the feeling of the body breathing. So that's the basic instruction. It's recommended that you try to do this for like 5 to 10 minutes a day. I find that to be really a good place to start. And it's always good to set a goal that's something realistic for you, so not something that you really won't be able to do, something you definitely will be able to accomplish. And yeah, I'm curious to see if you guys can practice this and see if it helps you at all. It's a great foundation. It's really the foundation for all spiritual practice. And again, all of the kind of discourse or, kind of discursive thought and all the noise is like a great metaphor for just what your mind will do to keep you distracted. It's also really nice to set an intention. So if you have an intention before your practice that, you just want to sit and give yourself 5 minutes to just be. And I also want to clarify one other thing. There's like no such thing as being a bad meditator. So a lot of people think, oh, like I can't meditate. That's way too hard. Or it's kind of like, when people, if you were to say like, oh, I can't go exercise because I'm too out of shape. Obviously you don't like start with a marathon. You're not going to start meditating for hours at a time. But, our mind is wild and discursive, and this is a process of disciplining and training that, just like as if we train any muscle. So, and then when the kitty's running around, that's the practice. It's like maintaining your focus in the midst of other things going on. So yeah, so don't call yourself a bad meditator. It's not possible to be a bad meditator. And I hope you enjoyed this practice, and please subscribe for more tips and tricks on how to stay present in your life and also to stay successful in all areas. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.